about to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not really.
Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. It's me Isabel here with my monthly wrap-up. So I do my mid-months where I talk about everything I've read in order, and in my monthly wrap-ups we'll go over all my stats and everything I've read since that mid-month update. So if you want further details on any of the books I mention from the mid-month, go watch that. Promise. And that's how we keep this under an hour. Let's get right into my stats. I had a pretty good reading month and I'm happy about it. I read 26 books for a total of 7,298 pages. My average rating was a 4.38, which is good. I'm sure you've noticed, I don't DNF a lot of books. Well, I do DNF, but I don't 1 or 2 star books. Most of those I end up DNFing, so this is pretty normal. I read 5 titles from KU, and I didn't track my library books. I forgot this month, so I have to fix that later. But anyways, I didn't have any rereads, so we're looking good. And then my age group breakdown was 18 adult titles, 7 YA, and 1 middle grade. And then the formats I read in this month were 8 ebooks, 8 audiobooks, 8 manga, and 2 mixed format, which is when I listen and read the audiobook. So I may do it in tandem, I may switch off a lot, and I finally added that because I do that a lot. Like often I will read a book and then I'll have Alexa read it to me while I'm doing something, and then I'll switch back to reading the book. You know, those fun things. And then I read 9 new to me authors and 4 debuts. So that's pretty cool. I am trying to make sure I'm always picking up new people, so I like tracking this stat now. But let's get right into it with my ratings. So first of all, we have my 1 book with no rating from this month, which is Thanks for Waiting by Dori Shafir. I read this in the first half of the month. This is a memoir, and I just don't know how to rate it, honestly, because there's a memoir later that I gave 6 stars. So this is where we're at. I just don't know how to rate it. It's weird rating someone's life. So no rating. I did enjoy it though. Then I didn't DNF anything, have any 1 or 2 star reads this month, so that's good. And we go right into my 3 stars. So the first one was in my mid-month wrap-up, which was An Indecent Proposal by Katie Robert. I'm continuing to read through her O'Malley series as I get the audiobooks in from the library. I'm really enjoying them. This one just wasn't as good as the first 2 for me. It wasn't my tropes. It wasn't my like characters I really gave it. I mean, I cared about them, but I didn't give a shit about them at the same time. So here we are. And then the other 3 star that's new was A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. I read this in my Hades and Persephone reading vlog. You can watch that if you want like really in-depth, more in-depth thoughts kind of. But I kind of walked away from this one feeling okay. I think the hype of TikTok definitely got to me on this one, and other people I know who loved it. I thought I was really gonna like this book. I know I saw Jess from Peace Love Books didn't love it either. So yeah, I just kind of landed on a 3 star. I might continue the series because I'm like a little bit curious to see how it gets. But as I discussed in that vlog, she's not my favorite archetype of a Persephone. I do usually like one who's a little more self-assured and less of like a nervous wreck. Kind of slash like oblivious? I don't know. It didn't work for me in proportions. And it was fine. Then I had 1 3.5, which was Sleeping Around by Morgan Vega. This is one that I read in the first half of the month. All right, 4 stars. This is when we start getting into all the books. All right, first of all, everything I read in the first half was Pumpkin by Julie Murphy, A Flick Between Friends by Shay Sanders, The Good Girl by Shiloh Clark, Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight, Maybe This Time by Christina C. Jones, and that's it. So then I read Hot as Hades, which again, that same vlog, which I gave 4 stars to. I really enjoyed this one. I think this is such a solid Hades and Persephone novella. I laughed so hard about a reveal around Zeus in this one. It cracked me up. Loved it. And then I don't know, I left it really happy. I really usually enjoy most of Alicia Rye's older writing. I don't love her new stuff as much. So I was just happy to read this and enjoy it, to be honest. Then I also read Promises and Pomegranates by Sav R. Miller, which is a very dark, loose Hades and Persephone retelling. And this one I am going to say, check my Goodreads review for all the content warnings, because there's literally so many that I can't list them all to you without forgetting something. But like, this is an age gap, Hades and Persephone. This is a mafia. He works for her dad as like the fixer, like the killer guy. And he's a doctor. And he ends up kidnapping her from her wedding and forcing her to marry him. And it is top tier smut, top tier sexy times, y'all. But plot is maybe like not the best, but it still gets a 4 star because I just had such a blast reading it that I could not put it down. at all. Like, I literally could not put this book down. I loved it. And also I'm realizing like I didn't read shit this last half of the month, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Then I read Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nacosta. This was so fun. This is the Minotaur book that everyone's talking about. Our main character Violet works at the farm where they milk the Minotaurs. And you know where they're milking, because they don't have udders, so yep. And she and one of her clients slash one of the people that come in, Rourke, kind of start having a relationship, like kind of having feelings for each other. And it's a weirdly like sweet book. There's a lot of like consent in this book that was really well done, and I absolutely adored how the consent was handled in this book. So listen, if it intrigues you in any capacity, check it out. It's a quick read. I had a blast for sure with it, so there's that. And then the next book is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager, which is my last book for him. I am now caught up on all of his backlist, and yeah, this was a 4-star. I liked most of the premise for this, but parts of it just weren't for me as much. I think Final Girls might be my favorite Riley Sager actually now. I just wasn't super engaged by this story. Then my 5 stars. Anyways, we have Ace of Spades. I cannot today, I'm sorry. By Farida. She wrote this when she was in college, or yeah, like when she started college, she started it and finished it by the time she graduated. This book was incredible, and I talked about it in my first half of the month. It is definitely going to be on my favorite YAs that I read this year. Then my 6 stars. A couple of these have shifted since my mid-month update. So Bombshell by Sarah McLean is a 6-star all-time favorite. Unsurprising, I adore her. I'm not surprised I love this book. And then I also shifted Amari and the Night Brothers to a 6-star because I'm like so excited for the sequel that I don't know the last time I was this pumped for a sequel. But the last 6-star is Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. This is a memoir. This is why I said I have a memoir rated 6 stars. And I honestly, like, y'all, it was so good. I sobbed multiple times during this book. This is really a book to herself. I feel like dealing with the grief of losing her mother and what it meant to be like her parents' child and what it is to be an adult without your parent, and just like this memoir to like her mother's identity and the food and the care she gave her. I can't say enough good things about Crying in H Mart, and I'm gonna start crying if I think too hard about this book. Give me a minute. Whew. Anyways, if the premise intrigues you, check it out because I think it is well worth everyone's time. All right, and then let's talk about the manga, and then I'm gonna do a little section where we're gonna talk about my book slump. First, I read volume 31 of Yona and the Dawn, 6 stars, loved it, great continuation of the story. I need more immediately in my eyeballs, thanks Viz. I also read volume 2 of A Sign of Affection, adored it. I have volume 3 ready to go in my stack to read hopefully this week, and I cannot wait to get to it. I also just, I mean, this is the cutest. This one, again, follows a deaf student at college, and she meets this boy who travels the world and like is teaching him sign language and has this big crush on him, and he's like crushing on her too, and it's just pure sweetness. Pure sweetness. Then I read The King's Beast volume 3, which I left downstairs. Go figure. I gave this 3 stars. I felt like this was like a mediocre volume 3. I'm gonna continue the series, but if I don't like volume 4, I'm gonna unhaul them all because that's how I'm gonna do it. That's my plan currently. I just wanted more continuation of the plot, and this just felt like it was lacking a little bit for me as on that front. So The King's Beast follows a Asian, A-J-I-N, character whose twin was killed, and they are trying to avenge them, and it's a girl pretending to be a boy, which is like one of my favorite archetypes, situation tropes. I guess it's a trope, whatever, you know what I'm saying. I love that. So I'm curious. Then we have my favorite horror thriller situation, which is Blood on the Tracks. I read volumes 3 through 6 this month. I finally got caught up. 5 stars pretty much all around. Loved this. Highly recommend if you want a really twisted thriller of a series. Immensely enjoyable. Then I read Nina and the Starry Bride, Volume 3 on my iPad. This is a digital only title, and I really enjoyed this as well. I think I gave it 4 stars. We're continuing the story. She's in a new kingdom, meeting her betrothed. I think I said, whatever. We're rolling with it. We are rolling with it. Meeting him, and it's her just being like very headstrong, and I adore her for that. Like, I really just enjoy the story, and I love the art. And then lastly, the last manga I read was Codename, whoa, that's upside down. Codename Sailor V, Volume 1, and I decided I'm gonna put this on hold reading the next volume until I've read all of Sailor Moon because I was bored. I'm trying to read through all my Sailor Moons here so that I can make a determination of if I want to get the Eternal editions or not, because right now I have the 2011 editions that came out, so yeah, I'm in a whole situation. But yeah, that is everything I read this month. And then I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about my book slump. So I am in a slight book slump right now. I still am reading, obviously, but like I switched it up. I read a lot more manga this month than I have recently. And basically, if it's not audio, I'm not consuming it. And it sucks. It's weird. I'm trying to lean in though and just let myself like listen to other things, do other things, and get through the slump versus fighting it and then getting into a worse slump. But if you have a book slump, if you have a book that you think busts book slumps, let me know. I'm hopeful. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's all the books I read in August. How is it September? If you had a favorite book this month, let me know what it was, if you think I should check it out. And if not, leave me a leaf emoji, because y'all, it is almost September, and in my heart of hearts, that means it's fall. I do not care. I do not care what day fall starts on. September 1 is fall. I mean, August 1 is spooky season. Just saying, we're here. Leave me that fall leaf emoji. And I will see y'all in my next video. You can find links to Be My Friend anywhere on the internet in that description box, as well as links to all the books I talked about, and I will see you in literally just a few days. Bye.
We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we waited.